Dear Evelyn, our story begins with a tale that may well be true, but is nonetheless false. Our hero, the magician Paul Daniels, enters a party filled with many unfamiliar faces. As the story goes, the magician hands out little cards, seemingly at random, to the gathered guests in spades. One by one, they read them and find within a completely accurate description of their character. Now, every magic trick has several core components. The first is to convince the mark that they are in control, like asking you to choose a card. The second is to reveal that they are not. This may be done by showing them the card that they have selected, or making it disappear. In Paul Daniels' case, it was by revealing each person's secrets before they had even been introduced. But there is often a third element to a decent magic trick, and that is the flourish. Paul Daniels' flourish was to ask everyone to reveal their cards to the party. Upon doing so, they were shocked to discover that each deeply personal description was exactly the same. Paul Daniels was using something known in psychology as the Barnum Effect. Named after P.T. Barnum, a 19th century circus owner, politician, and erroneously supposed utterer of those famous words, "A sucker's born every minute." The Barnum Effect states that we are highly likely to accept descriptions of us as precisely accurate of our character, despite those statements actually being general and applicable to everyone. This effect was famously established by Bertram Forer in 1949. In an experiment that Paul Daniels would later copy, Forer gathered 39 psychology students and gave them a personality test. A week later, he handed each of them a description of their personality. What they did not know was that this description had no link with the test they had taken a week previously, but instead had been plagiarized from an astrology book. Further, and without their knowledge, this description was the same for each student. Students were asked to rate the relevance of the character descriptions they were given on a scale of 0 to 5. The mean average they gave was 4.3. That is very high indeed. The point is that Forer used astrology books themselves to demonstrate that astrology itself is a con. The point of horoscopes is not just that they are believable, but that they are tailor-made for you and your sign. So if they are applicable to all people of all signs, then they are not tailor-made. They are little more than a trick of psychology. And horoscopes can increase our susceptibility to them by indoctrinating us into their belief system. If we believe the horoscope to be accurate once, we are more likely to believe in the validity of astrology generally. As Dixon and Kelly write, when Barnum profiles are perceived as accurate, subjects increase their faith in the validity of the assessment device. In another study, Fichten and Sunnerton found that this faith in horoscopes meant people were more likely to believe the accuracy of the description they were given if they were told it was a horoscope for their sign, as opposed to those subjects who were ignorant of which sign was which and rated them all the same. The fact is that horoscopes, mind readings and fortune tellings all use the Barnum Effect, or what magicians call cold reading.
Cold reading, I suppose, is the way that a complete stranger can seemingly tell you everything about yourself without being psychic and without knowing anything about you. In essence, the cold reader or psychic is supplying a lot of words, and you as the sitter, the other person, is supplying the meaning to those words.
And many people fall foul of these tricks, but there is a defence that any of us can employ. Dixon and Kelly found that whilst subjects respond positively to Barnum descriptions, when pushed, they can distinguish between the accuracy and uniqueness of the description. That is, all descriptions of this kind are accurate in a general kind of way. But we can ask ourselves, is this description unique? And most of us, most of the time, will realise that it isn't. That its claim over some kind of special knowledge in our lives is a lie. We realise that horoscopes are just stories that may well be true, but are nonetheless false. Sweet dreams. Hey, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. It was more psychology and magic this time. I used to be a magician when I was much younger. there are some very embarrassing videos that you are never going to see. Please subscribe, and I will see you hopefully next Monday. Bye.